Welcome back to the video series where we've been reviewing Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The book was written for the entrepreneur who is overwhelmed with what they do, is having a hard time scaling their business. And in this book, piece by piece, we are going through all the elements of what's in this book, and we want you to follow it so that you won't be overwhelmed and that you can expand your freedoms, which we'll be talking about today. This is video number 3. In the first video, we talked about the ability to create bigger goals, what went into that for your business. And in the last video, video number 2, we talked about expanding your freedom of time. So what I'm going to do is share my screen, brief PowerPoint that will take 2 minutes, and we'll give you all the goodness that's in this third video. Video number 3, the second of 4 entrepreneurial freedoms, the freedom of money, is one of the important themes through this. So Who Not How, written by these authors, the subtitle is The Formula to Achieve Bigger Goals Through Accelerating Teamwork. And the one thing I want to thank people for, so 2 of these videos have been posted. I've gotten a lot of feedback and people are loving the content, but they've asked me to be a little more succinct in how I lay out the details. More than happy to oblige. So number 1, thank you for that feedback. And we'll work at making this as efficient as possible. And at the end, you'll know you can reach out to me for an hour free to discuss all of this. So there's 3 themes that we're going to talk about through this entire video series for the entrepreneur that you need to be aware of and that we ask you to apply. Number 1, your compelling business vision. In order to really take advantage of what is in this video series, you have to have a vision of where you see this, where your business is going. Who it is going to help, what are the big grand plans you have for your vision. Without a vision, you are really prone to just day-to-day, head down, trying to get through the day with tasks, and it will be very hard to scale your business that way. We talk about your unique abilities. I know you do 73 things every day, but there's a couple of things you do that when you do them, you don't think twice about them. You love doing them. They bring out the best in you. And the third piece is often tied to the unique abilities. What are your high value activities? So these 3 themes apply to this book. And there are 3 things that you should be speaking to me about, whether we work together or not, in helping you scale your business. So the last video, we talked about freedom of time. That freedom of time is what creates the freedom of money. And as we talked about in the last 2 videos, who you bring in to help you with those activities that you don't enjoy doing but still need to be done. And if you have to do them, you're going to have to work 80-hour weeks every week. The introduction of whose is what helps create this freedom of money now that you have freed up time. Like I said, you can't have one. There's a sequence that they talk about where freedom of time and freedom of money. There is an order of these 4 freedoms that they talk about. So they do go in order, and it does make perfect sense. One of the things they talk about too is when you have other people or resources helping you out with your responsibilities, it takes decision-making fatigue away from you. And again, we're trying to channel you into spend your time using your unique abilities to create these high-value activities. So high-value activities, what does that mean? Well, I think the way I'll share this with you is the work I did myself to figure this out, and I hope this will give you ideas on how you can come up with these. For me personally, in the coaching work that I do, my high value activities start with all the reading I do. I love to read, and everything I read seems to have an application for how I help people in my coaching. So one of my high value activities, which I do almost on a daily basis, is reading for the purpose of being more informed in how I can bring value to the people I serve. The second thing I do is the literal coaching. I love it when I'm one-to-one or in a group coaching people. It's a high value activity. I love interacting with people. I love helping people. I love seeing them grow. You can just tell from the way I'm talking about this how much I love it. And my third, I think the number of 3 or 4 high value activities is what really helps you stay focused. For me, it's working on strategies with other people, updating them on here's what I'm doing in my business, brainstorm with me. When I get to strategize with that, where I get to tell people, here's what I've accomplished, but here's what I'm trying to do. When I'm doing those 3 things, those are my high values. Here's not what are my high value activities. Fiddling around with my website, changing graphics, writing email marketing campaigns, trying to figure out why something online isn't working properly. There's all these things that are not high value activities that are things that are in my way to getting to where I want to go. So I want you to think about your high value activities, what they are. The first thing we want to do is let's just separate them from all the things. You don't have to need to do anything else yet, but separate those activities so we can have a starting point for how we'll deal with the other issues. So, as with all the videos, there's action steps. Here's an exercise that can really help you as it relates to high value activities. I know I'm successful when. Write those things down. This is going to really help you. By the way, have you worked on creating a business vision so far? Here's a reason to reach out to me for a 1-hour free complimentary call. Tell me how you're doing with that, because again, without that, you are going to have a very hard time attracting people to your movement. A business vision will help you dramatically. You can see mine, by the way, at michaeljlynch.com. And who is that next person you need to meet that will allow you to expand your time and money, because that person is going to help you doing things that you don't like to do and are just really bogging you down on your to-do list. So there you go. Video 3, freedom of money.